So as we are here with Adam Himmelsbach of the Globe, Evan Valenti, Adam Kaufman, you come up with anything, Evan?
Well, it depends on your definition of hit. Okay, so it's a little loose there, right?
It's not Jared Sullinger if you're going to mention him. He didn't.
Well, that's the first one you got to talk about is Sullinger. I mean, if they'd given each one a little more of a chance, maybe later on that becomes a real possibility.
Guerschon 16.
What's up? Well, Guerschon wasn't. Yeah, I was gonna say he doesn't really count. Delonte West at 24, Tony Allen at 25 is probably what you're looking at for hits.
Yeah, I would obviously.
I would say Tony Allen probably the best one. That's up back in 04. But those draft, I'll go since Tony Allen in 04, he was 25th. Allante was 24th. Al Jefferson at 15 was really solid.
What year was Bradley?
Avery Bradley comes up, I think, a little bit later in 2010. He's at 19.
Oh, okay. So I thought he was in the 20s.
So you got Orient Green, Ryan Gomes, Gerald Green, Randy Foye, the famous Gabe Pruitt pick, Jeff Green, Shemi Earnin, J.R. Giddens, another good one, Lester Hudson, Luke Air goatee, the pride of Notre Dame. Each one more, MarShon Brooks, Chris Joseph, of course, of Syracuse and Fab Melo, Jared Sullinger, James Young, everybody's favorite pick, Marcus Thornton, Jordan Mickey, R.J. Hunter, Abdul Nader, bentel, Demetrius Jackson.
This is a real walk.
That's the thing too. Like we talk about, even like we're talking about the 20s. You look around the NBA, like there's a lot of good second-round picks who have.
Yeah.
But even like what they had those years, like you were just rolling off the list of them, Evan, where they had just multiple second-round picks and just kind of hoping. Although shout out to Nader though. Nader, contributor for the Thunder.
That was, yeah. I mean, look, that just didn't hit in the right spot. Didn't hit with the right team.
What number was Robert Williams? 27, something like
27, that? 27. Jury's still out there. Grant Williams at 22. Obviously, jury's still out there.
Rob and Grant are two guys that look like good for their draft positions, I would say.
Let's talk about Rob more, because I'm a big believer in Rob. I have been since they brought him in. Obviously, he fell for, obvious reasons in that draft, but I just and the flashes that you alluded to that we've seen from him, I think he can be a really good NBA player. I thought last year that he was going to be the starter by the end of the season if he stayed healthy, and who knows, maybe he would have been, but obviously he didn't stay healthy. I really believe the ceiling for him is so high that I want him not to be gifted the job, I want him to earn it, but I want him to be the starting center on this team next year. Are we reaching that point where you can see that on the radar, or is he still too far away to you?
I don't know about too far away. I think Tice was really good this year. I think people kind of took Tice for granted, honestly.
Yeah,
but
I think that's true.
If you're the Robert Williams fan club, you leave these playoffs encouraged. You forget he missed a good chunk of the season with that hip issue. Maybe that obviously is not good for his development, not good for just getting comfortable out there with this team. But after the restart and these playoff games, like, of course, there were times he didn't play at all. There were times you were like, Rob, what are you doing out there? But I thought it was the longest string of like encouraging moments for him that we've seen. And he showed, some of the things. And who doesn't love a guy that their head hits the rim, blocking a shot, and like their elbows above the rim and an alley-oop. Like you can tell that other guy, like you see Kemba kind of like smiling when they would throw an alley-oop, and Smart throwing the lobs. Like he's a guy guys enjoy being out there with, it feels like. For him, it's more a matter of getting comfortable in their system and not having kind of those puzzling moments where you're saying, Rob, what are you doing out there? You saw kind of pick and pop schemes. He really struggled when an opposing big was out there around the perimeter. That's something he'll have to work on this summer. But he has the tools. That's the thing. He's not a guy you really get like, oh, he could never do this physically. So I think based on what you saw in Orlando, if you're a Rob guy, you should feel pretty good about where he's headed.